Hi, thanks for joining me for our story today. Before we get started, I have a couple of announcements. We are collecting items for the Pregnancy Resource Center. You can bring those and drop them off on the front porch in the bin. There's more information about what they're accepting on the website. Second thing is a reminder about our exchange extravaganza that's going on for the next couple months. January is games and puzzles, so if you feel inclined to bring a game or a puzzle that your family has enjoyed, there's a cabinet on the front porch where you can put that and then take one home. Maybe find a new game that you will be able to play with your family. All right, our story is story 73, maybe one that you have heard before, 4 Men in the Furnace. It's a classic children's Bible story, so let's see if we learned something new today that maybe we didn't know before. This is taken from Daniel 3. We are getting close to the end of our Old Testament stories, and we'll start our New Testament curriculum, well, it's the same curriculum, but New Testament in March, I believe. All right, at first, King Nebuchadnezzar, we talked about him last week. Remember, he had the dream about the statue, and Daniel was able to interpret the dream. So Nebuchadnezzar is still king currently. At first, King Nebuchadnezzar was so amazed by Daniel's interpretation of his dream that he fell down and worshiped the Lord. But soon he forgot about Daniel's God. Instead, he built a huge golden statue of himself that was 90 feet tall and 9 feet wide. When it was ready, the king sent for all his officials. His messenger proclaimed, at the sound of the music of the horn, pipe, lyre, and other instruments, the king commands everyone to bow down and worship his golden image. Anyone who refuses will be thrown into a fiery furnace. When they heard that warning, all the officials and people in Babylon fell down and worshiped the golden image. Well, not everybody. Some Chaldeans hurried to bring a bad report about some of the Jews. "O king," they said, "some of the Jews you have appointed to rule in Babylon have refused to obey your order to bow down. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego have said they will not serve your gods or worship your image." The king was furious. "Bring them to me," he said. When Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego arrived, the king gave them a choice. Either bow down to the golden image or be thrown into the fiery furnace. Even then, the 3 men refused to bow down. They said, "Our God, whom we serve, is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of your hand, O king. But if not, be it known to you, O king, that we will not serve your gods or worship the golden image you have set up." Daniel 3, verses 17 and 18. When he heard those words, Nebuchadnezzar became even angrier. He ordered the furnace to be heated 7 times hotter than before. And he sent some of his strongest men to throw Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego into the flames. The furnace was so hot that the fire killed the men who threw Shadrach and his friends into the fire. Then King Nebuchadnezzar looked into the fire to see what was happening to the 3 men. What he saw amazed him. He said, "I don't see 3 men tied up in the fire. I see 4 men, untied and walking around in the flames. The 4th one looks like a son of the gods." At this, the king commanded the men to come out of the furnace. Everyone saw that not even a hair on their heads was singed. Their clothes didn't even smell like smoke. That's pretty amazing, because I know I sit around a campfire for a while, my clothes smell like smoke, my hair smells like smoke. The king said, "Blessed be the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego." Daniel 3:28. Then Nebuchadnezzar made a decree saying, "Any people, nation, or language that speaks anything against the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego shall be torn limb from limb, and their houses laid in ruins. for there is no other God who is able to rescue in this way. Daniel 3:29. Then he gave promotions to the 3 men. Did you wonder who the 4th man in the fire was? God's presence was in the fire with the men. God didn't just save the men from the fire. He went in the fire with them to save them. One day, the Son of God would leave heaven and come into this sinful world to save us too. The 4th man in the fire gives us a hint of how God planned to save us. Jesus would come to earth and experience temptation and suffering just like we do. When we think of the 4th man in the fire, we should think about Jesus. Jesus came to earth to rescue us from everlasting punishment in the fires of hell. So our questions for today: who are the 3 men that King Nebuchadnezzar has thrown into the fiery furnace? That's right, it's Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Why did he throw them into the furnace? Do you remember? The king made a decree that everyone should bow down to his statue. And Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego refused to do it. So their punishment was to be thrown into the fiery furnace. And the question says, the next one, who is the 4th man? And that was God's presence, whether it was maybe in the form of Jesus. When we think of the 4th man in the fire, as it says, we should think about Jesus. He came not just to rescue them, but to be in the fire with them. How does God save Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? So he was in the fire with them, in the furnace. The king recognizes that there are 4 men there and decrees that everyone should bow down to the real God, the one true God. Thanks for joining me today. I hope that you are doing well and you're staying safe and healthy, and I hope to see you soon. I'm praying for you.